Check, 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 check. Second one. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are all set for the second semi-final.
हाँ हाँ से कहे स्टार्ट करी
अरे तू कहीं तो कान इयरफोन ଅଛି
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ଏଠି ଯୋଉ ଇଏ ପାଖରେ ସେନ ସ୍କୋରର ଯୋଉ ଠିଆ ହେଇଥିଲା ସେଇଠି ମୁଁ ବି ଅଛି ସେଠି ଗୋଟା ସେଇଠି ପକେଇବା ଦରକାର
Check, check.
ୟାର अबे काम कर एडी पड़ा एडी कौन है ए जाने पड़ा ना टॉस गौरव भाई टॉस पे रेडी हो जाओ टॉस पे रेडी हो ठीक है मैं टॉस पे कर दूची हमें कथा हबा हां हां पूरा पिच को करो हां डायरेक्ट साइड बोलो हां हां डायरेक्ट पिच तो
पिच रो आसीले टॉस स्टार्ट
पिच रो आसीले तो स्टार्ट कर हां टॉस पे कर देकी करियो मां टॉस से करियो
Panther
ये हुए नहीं
हाँ मैंने नहीं कॉल तो हमें डिसाइड किया नहीं तो ये
नहीं नहीं सेमती ना
तो ठीक
कॉल कॉल माने जो टॉस के करियो टॉस करियो
चल भाई शुभम
कॉल करियो देखिए थोड़ा घूम जाइए
ఇప్పుడు బలచ్చు
गुट्टे मिनट
दो बोला
सोचंदी बैटिंग लेट या माने से वेट करछन सेठी 1.5 मिनिट होउनी प्राय सब 1.5 मिनिट क्रॉस कर जाउ एडे टिके जणे ही रहो हेड इडी
We are all set for the second semi-final then. Two of the biggest sides are playing in the second semi-final to make it exciting. Rakesh Patnaik from the Tigers, Shubham Shatrudin from the Panthers, and the match referee for today's game is Mr. Vikas Pati. All right then, it's for time for Shubham to spin it. Tells it is. Tossed it.
तो सेमती किसी उदा भी ना विकेट तो से आम भाविलु आग बैटिंग ही करूँ
पिच को देखि कोन लागुची गोटे कंपैरेटिवली फ्रेशर विकेट ग्रास टिके टिके देखा जाउची किछि सेटा फरक पकेइबो कि
नहीं 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 सेमती किसी ये नहीं
वर्तमान कोन रहइबो स्ट्रेटजी केते चेष्टा करिवे
सो 150 to 60
बेस्ट ऑल द बेस्ट सेमीफाइनल फाइन बट राकेश टॉस जीति की बैटिंग करछन से माने आपण चेस करथन ना करबा टिके कष्ट होइते आपण पाखर All right, the news has come out from the middle. It's the Panthers who have won the toss and they have decided to put some runs on the board.
हेलो हेलो एटा ठीक अछि गौरव भाई तमे हाथटा रखि दोछ सेंसर ऊपर नहीं नहीं
ना एटा तो मन धरनी इन धरछि
तमे सेंसर ऊपर तमे हाथ रखिबो ऑडियो पळैबो
देखन देबे ठीक आछि ऑडियो ऐसे ही बाइक कर दे
लेट्स गो टू द लाइव आई ए और ना चाहिए
Hello, check. Check, check. Hello. Yes. Hello, Ashish. Are you hearing me? Yeah. All set. Hello.
गौरव भाई
देनी ना देखो टिके 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 खान टीम लिस्ट में नहीं पड़ पड़ A very good morning to all of you then. We are all set for the second semi-final. Toss concluded a little while ago. It's time to welcome my co-commentator of the pre-match show also, Pavitra Naik alongside me. Well, the news from the middle first of all, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Panthers have won the toss and they have decided to bat first. Actually, this was a bit of surprise for me. What about you?
Yes, definitely. I think it's a very well decision because once you win the toss and put some score, and after that you will pressurize to the bowler because you have ample of time to score maximum run, and then when it's a bowling side, you can dominate with your ball.
Absolutely. On the other side, what I feel is that, on wickets like this, comparatively fresher wicket, no match yesterday on this wicket. This is a true wicket. And that is why you win the toss, you give your bowler some chance, and then you come in the second innings and chase it down. But clearly Panthers thinking the otherwise, and they are thinking that it's a pressure game, so why not put some runs on the board first and then put pressure on the Tigers side, who normally are not great batting side. They won most of their matches because they bowled well. Yes, Tukuna Sao has been fantastic. Rest of the batters played their parts, but most of the time they won because their spinners have done well and won because their faster bowlers have also come good at the right time. Remember what happened in that last match when Tigers played? They were down and out. They're out of the tournament. They're almost packing and going to the team hotel and finding the bus to go to their home. But what happened is that brilliant performance in that knockout match, 94. It's something that have restricted the Cheetahs, and Cheetahs were the table toppers, mind you. Now they are out of the tournament. And then what happened was bundling them under 94 and then chasing that down inside 8 overs, mind you. Tukuna Sao's blistering innings, and that made sure that they finish in top 3, not even top 4, top 3. So, beautiful thing to watch out for is how they really can come out of this. Good team that is full of confidence. What do you say about this?
Absolutely, Tukna Sao has been brilliant so far through the entire tournament. He's been outstanding performance through the bat, and the best part of Tukna Sao is very aggressive. The intent is absolutely clear, and he sent the message to the bowler that I can hit the ball and I can dominate initial stage so that I can pressurize about the bowler.
Exactly. Well, let's take a look at what are some of the importance of winning the toss and deciding to bat first. Well, first of all, the data says that every time you win the toss and bat first in the early game, you most of the time, not every time, tend to lose the match. That's because the faster bowlers get something early on from the wicket. You don't get enough runs. Maybe for the first innings it is 16 overs. For the second innings it becomes 20 overs because 4 overs clearly belong to the fast bowlers. But Subham Satrujit, the captain, was so confident. He said, we don't care about that. This is a semi-final. We want to put runs on the board and we want to win it by our bowling. And this is a very confident side. Mind you, Panthers are one of the most confident sides out there. Not huge names in their side, apart from Rajesh Dupar and of course Subham is coming good at the right time. There's Sandeep Patnaik captaining the side. So 3 big names, but apart from that, these are the players they have a lot of confidence, and they have probably decided that this is the big opportunity where they want to make the most of it.
And remember, a small impact can having a big impact in this particular game. Might be we cannot say the exactly proper name in the playing 11. They can also dominate over here. They can also playing the impactful innings for the semi-final.
I was there at the pitch. I mean, if we can ask the production unit to look at the surface, and if you look at the surface carefully, what happens is that this is a fresher wicket. This is a wicket where I feel the ball will come onto the bat. There's 2 kinds of grass in cricket, and in Hindi they say एक डराने वाला घास होता है, एक actual घास होता है. So this looks like डराने वाला घास. मतलब that is this grass is only there to bind the surface. This is not there to tell the bowlers, well, you've got a lot from this wicket, you can do whatever you want. No, it is there so that the wicket remains true, and that is why I think this pitch will have everything for the batters, but at the same time, you can't take spinners out of Baravati Stadium.
But you forget the universal truth that in this particular clock tower ends, once the bowlers will getting some spongy bounce and uneven, can trouble for the batsman, can actually cause in for the batsman. So how do you...
Exactly. So today it might not be the spongy bounce. I think the lack of bounce will be a problem.
Yeah. lack of bounce is very much problem for the batter. Let's see. So how do you think how much score will you put in the first innings?
Looks like a true wicket if the kind of batters they have got, and especially knowing that also the Tigers bowl really well. So I expect this to be around 140 and not more than that. 140 in pressure situation looks like 160, and that is why one thing you look at in big matches, in crunchy matches, in knockout matches, you see the average score looks like a big score. Every time you look at the score, it is not a very huge score that's been chased down, unless you're mighty Australia up 2000. Ricky Ponting's Australia, you put some 359 in a final match, but that's a different story. All right, coming back, talked about the wicket. The faster bowlers will definitely be getting something early on. But there's another thing. Look at the conditions there. There's a bit of raindrop around. So batting second makes life a little easier because DLS is something that might come in.
As we already say in the yesterday match, Cheetahs lose match because of rain. Rain will play a very, very significant role in this particular tournament. So I think it's slightly raining, and we hope it's will be passing Sabah. It will be passed away, so there will be a very, very exciting contest between the two teams.
Absolutely. Since we're talking about the number of players that can play and the kind of players that you bind in, let's take a look at the probable 11 and find out what are some of the best 11 that might be playing this match. Of course, now we've got the 11, not the probable 11, but looking like the Panthers have decided they will not be making a lot of changes out there. They'll not be saying that, okay, it is not necessarily because of the conditions, and it is more because they have the kind of batters in their side who can do it for them. Rajesh, good to see his comeback. He's an experienced campaigner. If he plays there for a long period of time, can make a difference. So for me, Rajesh holds the key here, because big match always brings out the best in big play. Yesterday it was for Surya, and almost it was for Biplab. First with the ball, brilliant, and then with the bat as well. So I always bet my money on the big players on matches like this. So that is why Rajesh the key player for me.
Fantastic, well said. But because you were telling very beautiful thing that you will stick with your playing 11. If you change your playing 11, that will really impact on your confidence level. Once you stick on your playing 11, that will play a very significant role on your performance.
It will definitely be putting a lot of pressure on you in a big match like this, unless you are Team Lion and you decide that, okay, Dibya Shakti has been given the chance early on and he had a blistering start. Well, that's something that most of the teams are thinking to do now, but most of the time, of course, the traditional game of cricket says no change needed in big matches. That's the thing to look out for. Now, coming back to that point and talking about the strength and weakness of both the sides, first let's talk about the strength. You know, as far as the data, this is all about the data and the tournament we have, of course, covered. These are some quality players, so taking nothing away from them. The data says that the Panthers also don't really rely a lot on their individuals. They have 2 or 3 big stars, all right, but they have come to the semi-final because they have some individual stars and some collective, because they don't really have the individual stars rather, but it is the collective performances by them, much like a team of Cheetahs.
Absolutely, it will be a very collective. But once the team will perform very well, it will really impact on your performance, no doubt about that.
And one thing that the Panthers did in between the tournament was to change the captain. Sandeep Patnaik was the captaining the side, and they've given it to the youngster Shubham Satrujit. And Shubham is one of the most confident captains you will ever find. He's very confident. At the toss, you really find out who is a confident captain. And today, I've got 2 of the most confident men out there. On one side, there's Shubham Satrujit. On the other side, there's Rakesh Patnaik. The only thing that you can learn from them, if you don't want to learn cricket, is confidence.
Yes,
so, confident side, captained by a youngster. There's, of course, some senior pros in that side as well in terms of the bowlers. We have got some fantastic players as well. And, of course, at the top, with players like Rajesh, as I just mentioned. So, what that does is, that brings out this strength. On the other hand, for Tigers, mind you, Tigers usually are not a great batting side in this tournament. They've come good at the right time towards the end of the tournament by performing really well, and thanks to that one man, Tukuna Sahu.
Absolutely, you were talking about Tigers. Collective effort linked to the Tigers cricket team, because some impact, some performance will absolutely bring charismatic things in the team. Tukuna Sahu, I mean, he's brilliant. Once Tukuna Sahu will perform well with his natural performance, then definitely Odisha Tigers to dominate over here.
Absolutely no doubt about that. Well, talking about Tukuna Sahu, what he has done is that he has made sure that batting becomes very easy. I don't think the batting is that easy that Tukuna Sahu just makes us believe in. That's no way you make batting that easy. He scored some 50 from some 17 deliveries, if I'm not wrong. That was a fantastic innings by an opener, clearly one of the best, if not the best. But what Tukuna Sahu and for that matter Suryakant Pradhan yesterday did, that players like these bottom-handed players did, that they don't really care about the conditions. They start playing their A game, that natural game, and once you start playing your natural game, doesn't matter what the condition is. In cricket, they say that conditions are 20%, and how you react to the condition are 80%. So I think these two batters out there, first Tukuna Sahu and Suryakant Pradhan, almost telling to the rest of the batters, don't think too much about the conditions. Go with the flow.
So Gaurav sent a beautiful message to everyone that stick to your natural game, believe on yourself, and everything is possible, right?
Since we're talking about Tukuna Sahu, since we're talking about some amazing performances from the Panthers, time to look at the battle to watch out for. Yes, the battle to watch out for is Tukuna Sahu versus Bimal Kumar. These are the two players out there who really impressed their sides. Tukuna Sahu, the star of the side, we're talking about him. Bimal Kumar has impressed everyone as well. Clearly the best bowler of that side and picking wickets when it matters. And the data says that if Bimal Kumar gets wickets inside the 2 overs, he bowls, Panthers win.
Oh, definitely. Bimal Sahu definitely comes and using this particular angle, particular direction. Once, the left hander always finds some genuine seam to the right hander. And actually, question mark, as you already mentioned. And this particular end, always a problem for Tukuna Sahu. And Bimal Kumar will be the biggest threat for the Tukuna Sahu.
Yeah, all right. On that note, I have to say that he's talking about seam movement. I looked at the wicket. I don't think there's a lot of seam that you can get from the surface. It has to be some swing early on with the new ball if you can create an angle and use that new ball to a good effect, but never the seam movement. The drastic seam movement is definitely out of the equation. That's what I feel. Unless you are very creative and use your seam position really well and you bring out the best, that's a different story. But that will be one-off deliveries. Not like seam movement is something that you normally don't get here in this particular conditions and particularly pitch as well, because that is the most important thing out there. And yes, and coming back, Lions yesterday made it to the final, right? And that is because they have the bowlers who picked up wicket when it mattered, and these mid-overs, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, these mid-overs in a T20 match. I always believe that T20 cricket is still 120 deliveries, like a lot of deliveries. We tend to look at it like go and hit the ball from ball number 1 till the 120th. Doesn't happen like that. So in the mid-overs, that is when the 7th overs start, until the 16th, end of 16th, these mid-overs that might look boring to you, but that is where the game changes. That is actually the most important phase of play, especially if you're playing in Baravati. In mid-overs, the data says, in the mid-overs, if you don't really lose a wicket or you lose a wicket less than 3, you tend to win the match.
Absolutely, no doubt. We're talking about the natural game. You are stick to the natural. But in the mid-over, I think 8 to 16 over, that over playing a very, very